Well, all right, all right. Let's see if people are in the chat. There are people in the chat. This is exciting. What's up, everybody? I have... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at this. We've got some cats in here. This is exactly what people have asked for. Come on. As you can see right here, all the fuzz, all the time. How is everybody on this fine Friday? I guess maybe if you're in Sydney. Oh, look at that. Pure cat butt. Just what the world has asked for. They're chasing each other around the house at the moment, so that's why you're all getting this very candid cat buttery. Where's everybody tuning in from? I'm going to put the live chat on so I can actually see this in real time. That was a Ragdoll song called Follow the Leader, by the way, for everybody picking up that it's a King's X vibe. Very much a King's X vibe. Anybody has any questions, I'm here, because Friday, consider this a live hangout question session. Request me to play some songs. That is a butthole, indeed. A very, very fuzzy one, but nevertheless, exactly what it is. Oh, man. Hopefully everything's working. I haven't done many live streams recently because I updated OBS and my camera stopped working with it, so I've rolled back. I finally found the solution, and it seems to be working. So yeah, I'm going to play another Ragdoll tune, and people can fire off some questions, and I'll answer your questions. And if you're not already, come and join my Discord server. I'm actually just going to drop a little link in there to let people know that I'm in fact live. And hopefully a bunch of people come over from there. That sounds really, really good. Alright, I'm going to do all of these things. I'm live on YouTube. Let's do just that. Alright, I'm going to play a Ragdoll tune called The Last Time. That is a super fun one. Let's do that. So again, that was called The Last Time. I don't really know how to play the solo in that one, even though I played the solo at some point. I'm in the faraway exotic city of Perth, Western Australia. Well, imagine being from Perth. Who was asking for Bad Boys? Charles was asking for Bad Boys. That's how you played in Drop C. Anyway, do you ever get around to giving Bruce Boys the Order of Control go? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not really what I expected from Bruce. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. We got... Who's in here? Bunch of people. Angus is in here. Everybody give a friend of the channel and proper arena straggling guitar god Angus Clark some love in the comment section below. If anyone saw TSO over the holidays, well, depending on which version of TSO you saw, but of course, if you saw the right one, then you would have seen Angus wants to hear some Chisel. I did a gig this afternoon, actually playing a bunch of Chisel. I was just playing like, you know, open chords. Which is good stuff. They're great songs. And especially here, they're, you know, I was trying to explain to someone a while ago what Cold Chisel is like, and it's like you took all the Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, that whole Americana, you know, Mellencamp, you took Deep Purple, and you just kind of, that was Australia's version of all of that stuff. Yeah. And we got some people from Germany in here as well. Anytime somebody from Germany joins the chat, I guess I need to play some Scorpions or some Accept. I'm in the wrong tuning for all of this stuff though, so... This is a good question from Judge Groovy Man. Right before I show you hand the guitar with a high action, do you think you might be able to pull it off? Look, it would definitely be no better than a B- performance, probably closer to a C- performance. There's a few, not saying like I rely on having a low action, but a low action is something that you don't have to think about. So, you know, there's a few, I think a few solos where having a low action definitely takes out some of the labor involved. And then also like intonation and stuff like that, and bending, and you play guitar with a low to medium. Except in Drop C probably sounds epic. Yeah, how would you... How do you normally... What am I doing? Ah, of course, that makes so much more sense. What is it? What about some John Norum song? That's a good question. What's that one? Again, I'm not adequately prepared with the right... Yeah, Blood of Nations is very good. Except, very good. Very, very good band. One band I would love to see live. How do you learn the covers that you play in your shorts videos? Queen's Right, Whitesnake, Savatage. You consult the oracle of YouTube. Mostly by ear. And a lot of those songs are songs that, when I learnt them before there was widely available charts, so I just transcribed them. So I will use like charts on the internet, you know, if I'm unsure of something, if there's a thing where I'm like, well, look, I can't really figure this particular thing out, or if they might play it this way, they might play it that way. So yeah, most of the time it's just kind of by ear, but there's loads of good charts out there for that kind of stuff. I like the combination of both, because sometimes when you transcribe stuff by ear, you don't pick the most obvious way to play something, and then you see the way most people play, and you're like, of course. So I don't know any prong. I don't know any prong off the top of my head. I feel like we got asked to support them, and they were going to come to Perth, and they never ended up coming to Perth, which was a bit of a shame. I heard they are a pretty good live band. So, but yeah, that's what I do for shorts. And all of those shorts you've been seeing are just recycled from the 5 Killer Riffs series that I have been doing on the channel, which I haven't done I haven't done one for ages, but I've just been recycling them as shorts. So, you know, shorts are a format that people are really, really into, apparently, and YouTube is pushing it. So I figured, why not do that? Can I play any of that album? Parts, definitely. You know, obviously you have such a good album. I really like Price You Pay on that as well. I'm embarrassing myself at the moment. Obviously, Strange Wings is great as well. So straightforward, so good. I'm really need to tune my guitar as well. While I tune my guitar, I'm going to answer a few questions. Why is that button not working? Oh, I see. I see why, because I almost changed the preset. That's not very good. We'll blame the cat on that one, shall we? Favorite preamp out of all the ones that I have, you know, I think the preamp that I probably would, if I had to record a whole bunch of stuff with a preamp, the Boogie Studio preamp is probably the most flexible musical sounding one. I think the modified 88 MP1 that I have with the 3-tube mod though is that's the one with the most character, put it that way. It's a really, really great sound. I really like it. So yeah, probably those ones. The other one that's kind of cool, the Soundsamp PSA1 is a really, really fun preamp, and the the Synergy stuff, that's cheating, isn't it? Because you can swap things in. I love the 2CP Synergy, but yeah, it'd probably be like the Studio Pre, just because I love the boogie style thing that it does. Yeah, Neil, apparently they had to cancel that show. Low ticket sales. Wednesday in Perth is a hard sell. 5 Killer Riffs, Giant Dan Huff. That's a pretty good one. Feel free to suggest some songs, but there's a lot of stuff the Huff put out that is pretty amazing. I'm just gonna jog my memory on this Savatage song, and I'm gonna look up a chart because sometimes I do that. Of course, it's so straightforward. There's that one. There's 24 Hours Ago is awesome as well. All that stuff is absolutely amazing. I was saying to one of my students recently, like Hall of the Mountain King it's got such a particular sound. It's so ominous sounding. But then I think Gutter Ballet has my favourite songs. But then Edge of Thorns I really like as well, just because there's a whole bunch of different stuff on there. That's the first Savatage that I heard. So, yeah, they're a great band. Great band. Check out my Savatage 5 Killer Riffs for all that kind of stuff as well. There's my budget Chris Oliva impression. What do we have here? Coffee Drink 71. Thanks for the inspiration of the last few years. You really helped me scale and favorite buying aspects. Congratulations. You have one of my favorite pieces of gear ever made. Such a great unit. That is great playing Savatage. Yes, you definitely should. It's so interesting that, you know, Hall of the Mountain King was 87, 88. Power of the Night was like 85. And it's in drop C. You know, so it's kind of forward-looking stuff. All that whole... It's like proto-metalcore. No, not the best, how would you say it, connection to make in there. They probably have nothing to do with it, but great band. Nice seeing you live. Cheers from Germany. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it. It's probably, what, afternoon in Germany at the moment? Have you ever tried using the Metal Zone like everyone else did a few years? Yeah, I did. I did a video on it with the Wazacraft one. Check it out, because I tried to use it as like a clean, as like a Tube Screamer style thing in front of a clean amp as well, just using the EQ as a kind of boost. Just cause it's a different thing to do. So that was pretty fun. Right, love the riff in Agony and Ecstasy. Yeah, so good, such a good band. I always think of one of my favorite things is such a simple little lead part. Travel to other cities in Australia regularly. I wouldn't say regularly, but at least once a year we do some interstate stuff. So we're off to Melbourne in March, actually, and I'll be at the guitar show there for anyone. Everyone in Melbourne is probably fast asleep at the moment. So yeah, that's cool. We're doing 2 shows. I'm doing a bunch of stuff at the guitar show. Got some other stuff going on while we're over there. It's going to be a bit of a whirlwind trip. So yeah. I really like Melbourne's probably my favourite city in Australia to play our stuff in, because they actually have a little bit of a rock scene going on there. Most other cities in Perth, it's generally pretty dead. Sydney was cool because they had a cool venue there, Frankie's Pizza, but that's since closed. So yeah, like we play to more people in Melbourne than we ever play to in Perth. So that's why we like playing over there. And we do a bunch of country stuff as well. We've been doing less of it over the last couple of years, I think, just because we've been doing it for so long, and it is difficult here. Australia's such a big place, so much travel involved. So yeah, how long have I been playing guitar? Probably seriously since I was 13 or 14, so 20 plus years now. Both the cats are here, and they're both scratching away. We got the cat a guitar-shaped scratching post as well, which is the greatest thing ever. One of them's on it at the moment, otherwise I would show everybody. What are your thoughts on stop tile? There's a PRS question. Shorter scale PRS models, what are your thoughts on the stop tail style bridge on your 245 versus the Tunematic style on the McCarty models. Yes, this. So there you go. This is what you all want, ladies and gentlemen. There's a little dingy bell in it. It's got a lightning bolt on it, so it's obviously rock and roll, and the cats can get on it and have a scratch. Hey, isn't that the best thing ever? The nuggets. Hey Dan, it's good to see you, mate. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a great day, and may the altered harmony be with you. So anyway, back to the McCarty. My McCarty has a stop tail style thing. Look, I think you're gonna, without a doubt, have more control over the intonation on the traditional tailpiece bridge ones, but this is fine. Like, the intonation on this is not perfect in drop C, but it's good enough, you know? The overall sound of this guitar works really, really well. You know, if I mute my live strings, you can hear it's quite a nice articulate instrument. Turn my mic on. You know, you can hear most of the notes in the chord, which is all I really care about. The notes in the chord being in tune, that's an added bonus. But yeah, I think you can hear, you know, there's a little bit of fret fuzz in drop C on this guitar, but it's fine. You know, never had anyone come up to me to go, oh, you know, that was fine, but you know, your guitar was really buzzy. So so yeah, I think it's pretty cool. We got the Kuzwich in the house. Great work on all the backing tracks made as well. It's very, very nice. I'm glad to see some people were checking the Discord as well. Australia's a huge nation with not a lot of people in it. Is the music scene well interconnected? Steve Taranto or Andy Gillen? Not really. I've like chatted to Steve once or twice on Instagram and just said like, "Oi, why are you so insanely good at guitar?" What's that? There's the... Yeah, there's that... There's like the Stephen Taranto lick there. Which I spent a lot of time on, but I think most people are kind of at least aware of everyone else. I mean, like in Perth, for example, everyone knows everyone in Perth, especially if you're playing rock or metal music. And, you know, most of the guitar players in those bands are also gearheads as well. So, you know, we all buy gear off one another and lend gear to one another and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's pretty well connected in that sense. And then, you know, I have a bunch of guitar buddies in Melbourne and Sydney, and you know, when their bands play here, I try to go and catch up with them, which often is on a weekend, so I can't go because I'm gigging. But you know, they'll come out to our gigs, and yeah, that's kind of nice. But I think a lot of people as well, it's like if you're doing this thing, you know, you're playing in a band and you know, might be doing YouTube and other stuff like that, you don't have a lot of time outside of all of that. I feel like I spend more time, most of my online buddies are people in the States. So yeah. Hey, Kale. Shout out to Neil and Kale for letting me borrow their amazing Lone Star amp, which I've done a few videos with recently. That one is a whole lot of fun. And Alessio, welcome. We've been talking about Savatage, mate, so I've got to give you the... the Hall of the Mountain King, the riffage. Alright, I'm going to play... Oh, here we go. If you thought of writing a guitar practice book, I think your common sense would translate well into guitar education. The very small amount of common sense I have. Yeah, I have. I've thought about those kind of things obviously we've spoken privately about, having practice routines and stuff like that. It would be interesting to try collate all that kind of stuff. I don't know if how good I would be at writing it. I might have to do it with someone and like discuss all the strategies. But yeah, I mean, I've been teaching we were discussing before, I've been playing for over 20 years. I've been teaching guitar since I was 15 or 16 as well. So close to 20 years there. So you pick up a few little tricks and things there. So yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's a good little project for 2023. What do we have here? What do you run your guitar through to stream? Very good question. Very, very good question. Guitar, cable, that goes into my Axe-Fx, and then my Axe-Fx is connected digitally to a universal audio interface, and the interface is feeding the live stream. So the interface is feeding OBS Studio, which is where I'm syncing up the video and the audio, and yeah, that's kind of it. It's pretty straightforward. OBS, the latest version doesn't support my webcam, which is actually just a Canon mirrorless camera. So I had to roll back to an earlier version of that. But the audio stuff is very, very straightforward. So, you could do this with like a Focusrite Solo and a plugin, you know what I mean? So that's pretty straightforward. And I'm glad that Chris Oliva thing works that we dialed in the AX8. Love all these. Do I take a backup when I play live? Honestly, most of the time I don't. But if it's a big gig, I will. I've been using the FM3 live, so if it's this gig's too much of an opportunity to have a piece of gear fail, then I'll take the FM9 as the main rig, and then the FM3 is a backup. So I guess, yeah, I do, but I've never had a problem with it, touch wood. And yeah, like most of the gigs, I just have the FM3 in a road case ready to go, and that does the trick. Hey, Eddie, what's up, dude? I hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in, mate. I'm going to play a song in a second. Where are we? The Yellow Betty, the Gunslinger 87 Mark III pedal Lily Sykes. I've got a video with that. I think that's the one we're talking about. I've definitely got a 1987 something pedal, which does the Sykes thing. The Jackson question on there. I don't know. I might throw that one out to the audience. That's a good one. The Fernandez belongs to a buddy of mine who owns a Plek. So they'd plecked that guitar. They do a lot of Plek stuff, and they've plecked a lot of my guitars. But that was a really, really good, the Fernandez stuff. I'm not 100% on like what era Fernandez it is, but whatever it was just tasty, tasty, tasty. Yes, the FM9, man, you're going to have such a fun time with that. There's all the switches you need on it and plenty of horsepower on there. So I'm going to do... What am I going to do? I'm going to play another song, I think. I might play Rust for everybody and see... these are songs, haven't done a full band gig yet this year, so I just haven't played the songs for about a month, so I should probably reacquaint myself with them. I'm going to add a nice big reverb to all of this, because why not? Oh yeah. Get some George Lynch style action in there. Okay, I'm going to play Rust, and I will be with you all in a few minutes. All right, that was kind of fun, but I butchered the solo. That lick should have been. What am I doing? There we go. Rubbish. There we go. Alright, I'm going to play the solo again for everybody just to prove that I can do it, you know, and it wasn't like faked on the recording. We got there in the end. A lot of that is as well making sure I'm accenting the right parts. So it's got to be down, 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 up, up. That's way easier, but it makes that lick harder. So you win some, you lose some. I'm going to hang out for a little bit more on here. So I've been enjoying this. Progression, Kenny. Heaven above for next song. I'm glad I got the tick of approval, Angus. Thanks, mate. Yeah, Chris it was awesome. I don't realize until I listened to them how much that stuff influenced me when I was growing up. Playing along with Follow the Leader, I did that right at the start of the stream. If you rewind back, you can have a listen to me do that, and I stuffed up the intro a few times, so I had to start it a few times. I have tried the 594 single cut. It is very, very nice. Plek in Perth, MT Guitars, I think if you look them up, that's where you want to have a look. There we go. Are you a founding member of Ragdoll? Yes. So, I've told this story a few times, but way back in whenever it was, we started off as a 5-piece. I actually met Cam, our drummer, in 2006, which is crazy. So I've known Cam for 16 years and a bit now. He was playing in a band with our buddy Mike on bass, and friend of the channel, the one and only Mr. Troy Naberban, who's recorded all our stuff. They were playing in a band, and they were like, hey, basically it was like, hey, do you like Racer X and 80s metal? And I was like, yes, I do. Let's do it. So that was pretty awesome. And then I guess the beginnings of what was Ragdoll was a 5-piece band, and then bass player left, singer moved on, and then it was just the three of us, and you know, that's kind of been it. So really the band started as a trio in 2011. We had a few other people play with us, which is just kind of what you do when you're in that. You try to find the format that works, and it's mostly logistically a lot easier with 3 people, and it helps having someone who's a great bass player with an incredible voice as well. You know, that makes things a lot easier in that case. So, Mentally Yours is killing my right hand because I haven't found an effective way to play it. Ooh, that's a good one. A very, very good one. Should I try that? We'll get to that. That's a good one. So yeah, long story short, yes, technically a founding member. Although really there's only been the 3 of us, and I think without 3 of us it's not the same band. So definitely a kind of thing where it just wouldn't be the same, like a lot of trios, you know. Yes, there you go. You can see the VR headset. Been having some fun with that. That's It's been awesome. Seen any of the videos of the new Bogner Uber Ultra? I have. Want very, very much. Sounds amazing. While watching and listening, obviously Ragdoll eventually. I love all your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. Have we toured Europe or North America? We've toured Europe once. We did that in 2016. That was an amazing time. And we've toured the US 5 times. So lots of sleeping on floors and living out of the van and stuff like that. So we've played a lot of shows in the States. And I'd love to go back as soon as possible. I miss it. It's such a great place to play music. Europe was an amazing experience in a different way. It was like everybody stood there and listened to us, which we weren't used to. People actually listening to it and knowing the songs and coming up and talking to you about what the lyrics mean, stuff like that. Whereas in the States, just people having a wicked time and really getting into the show aspect of it. So let's try the Mentally Yours thing, because I'd be down for that. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. Let me just bring this up. Such a good song. If anyone's not familiar with it, we're talking about Savatage. Mentally Yours. Let's have a listen to the ending on this. It's on the album Gutter Ballet. That thing. Let's see. That is really, really challenging. My right hand already feels what's going on there. Let's see. Let's bring it up. The very technical way of breaking all of this down. Where are we at? I'm just going to chart this because I'm live. What am I doing? I mean, drops it. Yeah, how does that riff go? Let's hear it again. Yeah, a lot of the time with the gallop stuff, it's about getting the first pick stroke on there right. Let's have a go. Da, 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 da. I need to tune my guitar very quickly, everybody, so I'm not torturing people. So it's whoa. That thing, yeah. Is that the part we're talking about here? I hope we're on the same page here. Gallop is at 358. Okay, I'm playing the wrong part. Where is it? Let's try that. Yeah, what is that? Okay, everyone. Hey, what's up? We have a guest vocalist, everybody. So I think all the people at the start got a healthy dose of cat butthole on the camera. Come on, it's all right. My wife also discovered that this cat loves harmonica, which is super strange. What's going on? Where am I? That's the part I'm looking for, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Tell the people of the world how you feel. What a good idea. It sounds like he's playing. So let's transpose it all down. Da 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 da. something like that, I think. Maybe I'm down a whole step. Yep, I think that's the closest we're going to get. So, the trick is to play down, 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 and then... So this is not an uncommon thing, so it's down, down, up, Yeah, so you gotta do down, up, and then down, up, down. So something you could practice would be this. Going. It's in that snap back. It's also the actual rhythm because it's got that swung. Or you could do like a funk thing. So one option is down, down, up, up. But that doesn't sound right. It sounds a lot tighter, so it's got to be down, up. Yeah, it's definitely got that like funky, it's like tight but loose. And with muting. So good. So many great riffs. This one is from Luke von Tajikistan. If you had to choose between a 295, I figure we're talking about boogie power amps here, a 290 or a completely different power amp, which one would you go for and why? Depends. Do I have to carry this power amp around with me when I'm gigging? Because that's a very different question if you're just going to sit in a studio rack. I would still love to get a 290 one day because it's just such a thing. That, you know, a Mark style preamp with a 290 stereo. I haven't tried a 295 though. I had a, what did I have? A 250, and that was cool. Had its own thing going on. I ended up trading it for a vintage greenback speaker because I like vintage greenbacks and I wasn't really using the power amp. So yeah, and shout out for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, good question. I missed a question here. I think, been watching loads of you Fractal, wasn't considering buying an FM9. I think you convinced me. Awesome content. Thanks from Scotland. Mate, thank you for tuning in. I don't think I've ever, well, no one that I know from Scotland has ever tuned into one of these, so that's pretty cool. Another place I would love to visit. My mum's side of the family is like, you know, Scots, Irish, so I'm sure there's some history going back there. That's beside the point. But yeah, FM9, do it. If you get the chance to do it, definitely do it. There's so much fun stuff. I could go from this to this. stuff. And from Sweden. That's so cool. I've been so close to Sweden, but I've never gone. We played in Denmark a few years ago, and I saw the sign that says like Sweden this way, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Obviously, being a very big Yngwie fan and an ABBA fan, Sweden's two great contributions to music culture amongst everything else. But I digress. Yeah, 1987. I did a show. Far out. When was that? 2015 with some mates of mine. We played 1987 start to finish. That was a pretty epic gig to prepare for. Because there's some really, really good deep cuts on that, like Straight Through the Heart, or Straight for the Heart. Looking for Love has an amazing solo on it. It's really, 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 really good. Alright, I'm going to play a bit of Heaven Above, because that was requested before, and I'm actually going to buzz off. It's past 11 o'clock in the evening here, so I should probably be responsible and go to bed. The Pinky Finger Moving Fast, I'm trying to get that really fast riff from The Day That Never Comes. Okay, here's a weird one for you, Kale. I got this from George Lynch, who has amazing pinky strength. What you do is you you play a song you can play pretty easily, but you do it without your first finger. So let's say you were playing, I don't know, you were doing Seek and Destroy. Without using your pinky. You try to play the whole thing. Without using your pointer finger. So you got to use your pinky a lot more, and it's really, really weird. Or, you're just playing some blues licks without your first finger. And believe me, that will up your pinky strength immensely. You just do a bit of that every day, and you'll see it kind of rub off. I think you'll really, really like that. God, being 17 in 1987 would have been a good time. Very, very good time. And the Netherlands, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. I was listening to some Golden Earring on my way into a gig this afternoon, which I definitely enjoyed. Twilight Zone, great song. More White Lion. I literally know how to play like one White Lion riff, and I'm in the wrong tuning at the moment. So, but because I'm in a drop tuning, there's some Rat instead. Let's see. There's a few questions. I've got to make sure I don't miss all of these. So try that, Kale. There is also a discussion on the Fractal forum on if you use the mic preamp in the cab section, and why not? Everybody does. Yes, very, very good question. I like it, especially for vintage style tones. So let me just bring up like a chunky thing. Before I do that, I need this preset in a second. So I'll put a little star next to this because this has my virtual capo saved in it, which we want, because I'm going to have to play a song in drop C sharp, and I don't want to retune the whole guitar. What was I going to say? So let's say you got like a kind of brown soundy thing going on, and you're going to add some drive and saturation to it a bit. So you got this. Add a bit of the like tape 35 or tape 50. Maybe that's a little bit too much drive, but really, really good. Just to add that extra little bit of crust on top for vintage style stuff. I'll go back to the sound that I had before, and I will mute my mic, and I'll just bring in some like Transformer style drive on there. I kind of like it. You know, like the saturation aspect of it is nice if you want compression, but you don't want compression. And a little bit of drive in there for vintage style stuff is absolutely gorgeous. I really, really like it. So what was I going to do? I was going to play Heaven Above. I think I will still do that for all of you. So let me just check that there's no more questions on here. Love Your Wrong Way to Play Rat. Have you any other plan? Yes, I've got a Van Halen one, but let me know if there's any songs that are traditionally kind of weird the way people play them, because I think I just play everything wrong. What do you think of the Blue Guitar Amp 1? I really want to try one. I just haven't had the chance to do it. They're pretty hard to get down here in Australia, but I hear people raving about them. So Thomas Blug's awesome. I really like Thomas's playing, and they've got a bunch of great products that they've been involved with, so I'm sure it is pretty awesome. Creamy carbonara sauce. I like it. I like where we're going with that one. With 2 eggs per person. Yes, Vicious Rumors. Now we're talking. Man, that's like a deep cut from back in the days when I was downloading music on Kazaa. This one's from Van Hering. JCM 800, Torpedo Captor X, in addition to SPX 90, can you tell me if a line mixer would be the way to go to mix the effects correctly? Look, you might notice, like, the SPX has some pretty crap converters in it that are part of the magic. You might notice that a line mixer just makes everything sound a little more open, and your direct sound isn't as, I don't know, processed. But if you like the way it sounds at the moment, you don't have to use a line mixer. I think a line mixer is really handy if you're using multiple digital effects. So you're kind of cutting down on extra noise and converters and multiple AD conversions. So yeah, play with artistic license. That's what I say about my own stuff. Way to change channels on the Boogie Recto using the AX8 as a MIDI switcher connected with a 4-cable method. If your Recto has MIDI, yes. If not, you might need something like an RJM mini amp gizmo. Time for a good IR and just add drive without saturation. To me, the sound improves a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things where that extra drive you're adding to it is going to bring out a few extra harmonics and make everything sound more alive. It's a great studio trick. So, okay, I'm going to play Heaven Above, and then I will maybe answer a few more questions, and then I'm going to head off. So let's do that. There's a riff everybody asks about when I play it on the channel, so we'll do it.
Silence, line in the sand, blood on my hands. Who are you to question my silent conviction, dire addiction? Hope is to surrender. You are impossible, never responsible. No, it's not an option. You are the answer. I am enchanted. I have fallen from the heights of your heaven above. You were lying when you cried, torn and broken for love. Lay with me, unleash me, burn down our love, just let me go. Broken, bleeding in the dark where you left me so low. Trust is just deception.
etc., etc. So that was a super fun song to record. It's a super fun one to play. So, want to sell the Mess Studio preamp in the back? I don't think so. I think I really, really like it, but you should check out the Synergy 2CP because it gets super, super close to that. So, all right, one last roll through here, and then I'm going to hit the hay, everybody. So, wow, we got a few more people in here, which is awesome. So that one's called Heaven Above. Check it out on our Bandcamp page, all that kind of stuff. Wolfstand Music made it. Yes. Oh no, you're sick. I hope. Oh man, I hope you're feeling a little bit better pretty soon, mate. There we go. There we go. I always forget about this riff in Heaven Above, the second verse one. That was one of my favorite things when we wrote it and put it together. That was like, yeah, this is heavy. Like that rhythmic pattern underneath it. Very, very fun. How did the extended guitar solo come to be? It's meant to be a really quick fade out at the end, and I was like, oh, I'll just we'll do a little guitar jam and it'll fade out. And of course, when we tracked it, Cam played for like 4 minutes. It's like, oh, maybe I'll just do an extended thing. So, yeah, that was pretty fun. And we were like, oh, we'll fade it out, and we just kept it. So it's like 3 minutes of solo at the end. And we've never really done the ending live. We have a different, kind of like a different arrangement for the ending. I think we just go like, I go widdly widdly widdly, and that's the end. There's a few tracks, like there's a backing track for Rust and one or two others, maybe in some tab up on my Patreon. But I really should get around to doing some proper stems and things like that because people have been asking for them. So, yeah. Alrighty, that is it for me, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be doing a whole bunch more live stream stuff over the coming weeks and months because I have my camera. This is all working again. I'm glad. So, and thank you for tuning in wherever you're tuning in from the world because the most important thing is that, guitar and music and stuff like that brings us together. Alrighty. Everybody have a good night. Catch you later.